The World Bank is considering financing for Barbados once again. No bed bug problem in BIM. And the BRA rolls out its new tax system.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. 25 years after being graduated from financing from the World Bank, that multilateral financial institution is examining ways in which it can assist Barbados once again. This follows the island's presentation of homegrown policies towards economic recovery. This support could include technical assistance in the areas of climate change, strengthening of social safety nets, and improvements in our debt management and sustainability systems. This position is alluded to in the International Monetary Fund staff report on Barbados, which was released today. This is now a clear path for Barbados to access nearly $300 million in financing over the next 4 years under an extended fund facility arrangement. It also opens the door to over close to $1 billion in commitment from the Caribbean Development Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank. The staff report is also consistent with government's BERT program, which has already been revealed to the public. It also sets out the timetable for the program over the next few years. These policies include modernization of the public sector with a focus on state-owned enterprises, reducing debt to sustainable levels through a comprehensive debt restructuring, and a number of important growth reforms. Barbados does not have a bed bug problem. This was made clear by Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kenneth George during a media conference at the Ministry of Health's offices this morning. He says although it's a public health concern, it's not considered a public health problem, as no known diseases are transmitted by the mite.
Persons are not at risk for any form of disease being spread from person to person through the vector by bed bugs. However, we are aware that still bed bugs cause a lot of uncertainty and sometimes confusion. It can, when it bites your skin, cause some irritation and some redness, and there may even be, in a few cases, a rash around the site. However, other than that, there is no serious medical diseases that are either transmitted or communicated by the bed bug.
Dr. George says they have 74 reported cases of bed bug infestation over the last 2 years. He says the ministry has taken a proactive approach to the issue and used the closure of the Edgar Cochrane Polyclinic yesterday for cleaning as an example. The acting chief medical officer says the bug moves with people, so they should try to keep their surroundings clean and be vigilant.
Look in the crevices of where you sleep in the bed mattress. You can look in the crevices within your home, in your chairs, etc., because they hide there, and they are blood-sucking insects that like a blood meal. So the Ministry of Health, although it's not a public health problem, realizes that it causes a lot of public uncertainty in how people respond. And we have been very proactive.
Dr. George also sought to clarify environmental issues that were plaguing the E. Humphrey Walcott building over the past few months. He says there was never a bed bug issue there, but problems arose as a result of the lingering effects of the chemicals used to clean the building. Barbados is unlikely to reach the target set by the World Health Organization of reducing premature mortality from chronic diseases. This is according to Director of the George Allen Chronic Disease Research Center at the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill, Alafia Samuels. The timeline set was the year 2025.
I can't give you an exact percentage thing, but what I can tell you is that we are seeing some declines, but the problem is that the rates of obesity and the rates of diabetes in Barbados are negating the benefits. So we have had a lot of benefit in terms of, this is Natasha Sova's PhD, by the way. We have had she's my staff, I can quote her. We have had a lot of benefits in terms of treatment. So we have had declines, and most of the declines have been because of treatment. So we are now treating, we have better treatments for high cholesterol. We have better treatments at the emergency room for heart attack. We have better treatments for diabetes and so on.
The labor ward of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital has been temporarily relocated to Ward B2 on the second floor of the main building. The hospital says this provisional relocation was prompted by the malfunction of the air conditioning unit used to cool the ward. The relocation will be in effect until December 14th. This will permit the necessary repairs to be conducted. The QEH has apologized for the inconvenience. More than 30 Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association members are finalists in the prestigious 2018 Tourism Awards, which take place next Saturday, October 13th at the Sandals Royal Barbados. This event, which celebrates the outstanding contributions of BHTA members to the tourism industry, features two new awards: the Best Online Brand Engagement and the Agricultural Linkages. The biannual event is hosted at the end of the tenure of each BHTA chairman. This year's awards are being presented for the period of June 2016 to 2018, while Roseanne Myers served as chairman of the association. CEO Senator Rudy Grant says this is the association's way of recognizing exceptional levels of excellence in the industry. He says this is the perfect platform for the BHTA to showcase the best of the best in local tourism, from our people to our accommodation, our attractions, restaurants, and experiences. There are strong indications tonight that the Anglican Church could have a bishop in place before Christmas. That's the latest coming out of this morning's meeting between the local House of Clergy and the Regional House of Bishops at Codrington College. In early August, the local synod handed over the decision to the House of Bishops after it failed to decide between Dean of St. Michael's Cathedral, Dr. Jeffrey Gibson, and Rector of St. George Parish Church and Rural Dean of St. John, Reverend John Rogers, for the post. CBC has been reliably informed that the House of Bishops put the same 4 questions to the clergymen that they did to the laity during yesterday's meeting. Each priest was given about 3 minutes to outline his or her vision for the church, their role in realizing that vision, their views on the qualities of a bishop, and their expectations of the House of Bishops in the selection exercise. A member of the clergy told CBC News that people freely shared their opinion in the meeting, which was very cordial. The priest is hopeful that a decision will be made soon. The source has also explained that the stalled process in Barbados also has implications for the selection of an Archbishop of the West Indies. He says this position cannot be filled until all 8 of the dioceses in province has a bishop. A provisional synod made up of bishops, clergy, and laity is convened once the see, as it's called, is filled and the decision is made. As the push to include the STEAM, that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths approach to education intensifies, government is ensuring that students across the island understand its benefits. Today, as part of Education Month 2018, the Ministry of Education held a forum designed to give students some valuable insight into the STEAM approach. Here's Lorna Jones.
During the EduNation Forum, various officials and students made presentations focusing on the theme Building Excellence in Education through STEAM, which is also the theme for Education Month. The forum was designed to give students an understanding of what STEAM means and how it may help them and Barbados in the future. U.S. data indicates the number of STEAM-related jobs is expected to grow by 14% by 2020. And as Chief Research and Planning Officer in the Ministry of Labour and Social Partnership Relations, Ricardo Norval explains, these jobs are in a wide range of exciting fields.
Cultural and creative sector, cinematography, anybody that likes to do films, animation, these are skill shortages, entertainers, even artistic directors, the people that put up the sets, sound technicians, film editors, and cinematographers. This is a new emerging industry. If we were on par with that right now, instead of shooting pirates in the Caribbean, in the other Caribbean countries, they may be shooting pirates in the Caribbean here.
We spoke to some of the students about what they learned during the forum.
You have more options, and they realize that nowadays more people are going into the artistic field, and that it's a developing field and it's actually progressing well. So they're pushing it in schools because they want children to be well educated in the fields.
I think STEAM is basically an opportunity that the government is giving the young children, because certain young children nowadays don't really know what they want to do, and this is giving them a boost of what they can do.
The next activity on the calendar for Education Month will be a health and wellness hike on the 14th of October. Lorna Jones, CBC News.
The University of the West Indies has taken a tangible step as it continues to foster and develop collective approaches for advancing the regional agenda. The Caribbean Center for Development Administration and the Cave Hill School of Business have signed a memorandum of understanding. Now, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Sonia Mahan, says it's important for the UWI to continue to strengthen its relationships.
We are committed to maintaining a capacity to supply and support a wide range of expert technical, professional, and advisory services to meet the needs of our communities, including our national governments, public and private sectors, and regional and international institutions. And this is most critical to involve all the stakeholders in the process. Today's event signals that those are not just words on paper, but that we are more interested in actioning our AAA objectives of the strategic plan than just talking about it.
Executive Director of CARICAD, Devon Rowe, is convinced that the formalization of the relationship with the UWI is wise and full of potential.
In our region, we need not only new thinking, but new actions. We are hoping to compete in a world that is now being driven by technology, globalization, and re-evolving inward-looking nationalism. We sometimes forget that there are more graduates emerging from universities in China and India each year than we have people in the English-speaking Caribbean. We forget that technology is now making many of the processes that we use in our public service obsolete. The only way we can hope to catch up and compete is by investing in our human capital.
Hundreds of Barbadian students got a better understanding of and appreciation for tourism when the Barbados Tourism Product Authority hosted the exciting and interactive Tourism Career Showcase at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center today. Now, the showcase under the theme Tourism and the Digital Transformation was pushed back after being postponed last week because of the passage of Tropical Storm Kirk. BTPA Communications Officer Renice Bostic says several exhibitors were on hand to showcase traditional and non-traditional career opportunities.
We are trying to get them to open their eyes as to the possibilities and not just think in a box, but it's entrepreneurship opportunities as well. What can they utilize technology for? You can utilize it in a positive way. We want to ensure that our students or young people are included in the tourism industry, and as soon as they come out of school, some of them go into BCC Hospitality Institute or they go to the University of the West Indies and they may say, I can't get a job in the tourism industry, but you can also create your own opportunities.
Ms. Bostic said the students were enthusiastic, but more still needs to be done.
One of the things that came up, even in the BTPA's booth, is that we need to showcase the total Barbados experience to our young people. It's not just about tourism, but it's about our history, and for them to know that we have 13 museums on the island, or to know all the monuments and the significance of the different monuments. And the BTPA has been going into the schools with our I Am Tourism program to ensure that students understand their role in tourism, but more importantly, they can only play their role if they know about the island and have a greater appreciation for it.
It was true Caribbean unity when the final episode of Mahalia's Corner 2018 came to a close on Sunday night. Featured artist Trinidadian soca star Kerwin Dubois joined the local band 2 Mile Hill as he performed some of his hits. Sharika Griffith tells us more.
As they say, all good things must come to an end. But for the past 5 Sundays, music lovers venturing to the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center were not disappointed. With a lineup which included John Yard, Alex Cage, Raphael Saul, and cultural ambassadors the mighty Gabby and Alison Hines, there was something for everyone. Host Mahalia Cummins says, like past years, this season has been phenomenal.
I don't have any complaints. I am very, very grateful for everybody that's come through, the team, the whole Next World team, and all the sponsors and partners that came on board that made it possible, all the artists that agreed to come and do it, everybody that stepped up in the open mic, and all the patrons that came through to every single show. We couldn't do it without them either. I can't feel any happier.
Much like last season, this year wrapped up with a Trinidadian artist.
There ain't a beef between Trinidad and Barbados. If it's one Caribbean. We have a friend in the PR for Kerwin and for Patrice, Adana. She's actually in the building. So it's actually been amazing making that contact and having that communication between islands and between people to be able to bring Patrice and Kerwin from Trinidad to Barbados to perform at something like this.
And amazing it was, as Dubois delivered hit after hit. His set began with a passionate delivery of Unforgettable, followed by renditions of Spoil Myself and Therapy that had fans partying in their seats. But Dubois would soon turn up the heat. Speaking after the show, he admitted he was blown away by the crowd response.
When they say it's more of a acoustic vibe, when you hear the word acoustic, you think people just going to sit down and, pretend it's a date night. But it was no date night. It was a late night full of real vibes. And, I was just thankful to be a part of this. And I hope that this is not the last time. Because if this is the last time, I peel this mic right now. I dropped the mic. All right, thank you. So they're coming back again.
He's also open to the idea of further collaborations with 2 Mile Hill.
We went to Cuba a few weeks ago, and you telling people, yeah, we do soca, and they're like, what is soca? Right? They don't know what soca is, but as soon as we put on the music, they start, They mightn't understand our language or accent, but they understand rhythm and vibration now. And this is what this group have here, and this is what the Caribbean talent is about, is rhythm and vibration that we could feed the world. So, hey, let me go. I come in. I ain't no visa, but we go work out.
With the curtain closed on the 8th season of Mahalia's Corner, fans are already awaiting the announcement of a special one-night-only Christmas edition. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.